Mamprugu Youth Association, the national chapter. And then it seeks to address current security developments in Boko and its environs, the unprofessional conduct of the Inspector General of Police, and then the baseless demand for the arrest of Boko Naba na Shiriga Alhaji Singu Abagre. Esteemed members of the press, fellow Ghanaians, and all dedicated stakeholders committed to peace and order in Boko and Ghana as a whole. We of the Mamprugu Youth Association address you today with profound concern for the rapidly deteriorating and escalating security situation in Boko and its surrounding areas. This crisis affects not only the lives and livelihoods of our people, but also threatens the very fabric of our national unity, national security, and the promising mediation efforts currently led by His Royal Majesty Otumfo Osei Tutu II, the Asante Hili. A brief about the background to the current happenings in Boko. Boko, historically a vibrant hub of coexistence and commerce, anchored by its central market established in 1858, has long symbolized our interconnectedness, drawing together diverse ethnic groups and fostering trade across our borders with Burkina Faso, Togo, and Niger. The unilateral establishment of a parallel market by a segment of the Kusasi community, following the regrettable resurgence of violence in 2021, citing unfounded claims of insecurity in the Mamprugu-dominated central market, has unfortunately introduced grave security challenges. Now, while we recognize the inherent right of every citizen or every community to pursue its economic activities in safety, the consequences arising from the creation of this parallel market have been deeply troubling. Elements within the Kusasi youth have, with gross impunity, engaged in acts of intimidation and coercion with intent to deny access to the Kusasi market to individuals they wrongly perceive as Mamprusis or their allies. Indeed, the tragic killing of a 6-month-old Busanga baby, whose grandmother went with her to the Kusasi market to purchase vegetables, underscores the climate of hostility that has festered for a long time around the Kusasi market. Disturbingly, this aggression has extended beyond ethnic profiling to levels that can best be described as domestic terrorism. These same Kusasi youth have forcibly prevented their own Kusasi kin, members of other ethnic groups, and international traders, particularly from Burkina Faso, Niger, and Togo, from accessing the established Boko Central Market, which provides revenue to the state. These blatant acts of economic blockade and ethnic targeting, often occurring in plain sight of law enforcement officers along critical routes like the Boku Bolga Pulimakom Road and the Boku Kurungungu International Road, points a disturbing picture of a breakdown in law and order and safety. And that is very unfortunate. If the intent, that is the intent of creating the apparel market, the Kusasis, was to create space for commerce, it would be a matter of communal choice. However, the forceful redirection by Kusasi youth of traffic destined for the Boku Central Market and the subsequent targeting of those who patronize it, even under armed military escort, are unequivocally criminal acts of banditry and then terrorism. Attempts by the Ghana Police Service to restore order and ensure freedom of movement along the Boku-Bolga-Pulimakom International Road by preventing attacks and harassment of innocent citizens have been met with violent resistance by the Kusasi, the Binduri police post, and the attacks on the Pusiga police station, as well as the residences of honorable members of parliament, Honorable Mahama Ayarga and Honorable Ladi Ayamba, leading to injuries to police and immigration officers and extensive damage to public infrastructure, are acts that demand the strongest condemnation. Unfortunately, we are yet to see a single condemnation of these acts of terrorism from the Kusasi leadership and their political class, like Honorable Ayarga, Honorable Avoka, and the rest of the members of parliament in the Boku area. They are silent. None of them is bold enough to condemn these acts of terrorism. Following the above violent acts of domestic terrorism by the Kusasi youth, because they have come out to own up and say they are those committing these acts of terrorism, the Inspector General of Police visited Boku, and in what can be best described as bizarre, he apologized to the Kusasis, the same people who attacked and vandalized several police and state installations. Furthermore, the IGP refused to visit Mamprugu, who are key stakeholders in this matter. This biased conduct of the IGP and the cowardly unprofessional conduct of apologizing to criminals has emboldened the Kusasi youth to perpetuate more crime. They went, and when I say they, I mean the Kusasi youth, because they have actually accepted that they are those doing this. They went on rampage, attacking and killing innocent Mamprugus in the Binduri district. Their ungodly criminal activities climaxed on the afternoon of April 13, 2025, when they ambushed and killed 2 police officers in the Binduri district. The mark of a good leader is having the best interest of the people he leads, but to throw the sacrifices of the men in uniform to the dogs just to appease what the former police secrets describe as Kusasi banditry smacks of incompetence and professional negligence on the part of the Inspector General of Police. Indeed, we are reliably informed that almost all the policemen stationed at districts like Binduri, Pusga, have all been recalled to the Divisional Police Command in Boku, simply because of threats by Kusasi youth, emboldened by the pleas of the IGP. We have cited a police memo from the Upper East Regional Police Command issuing a ban on the movement of police personnel to Boku. This development paints a bleak outlook of the security of the area. We would like to extend our deepest condolences to the government and families of the deceased police officers. We commend His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for his forthright description of these acts as criminal vandalism of state property. It is our considered view that the Kusasi youth were emboldened by the unfortunate apology issued by the IGP to them for their acts of violence and terrorism against the state of Ghana. They have done that to several citizens, innocent citizens, and they now feel emboldened to attack the state. And all the IGP could do was to go and apologize to them. We urge the police and all security agencies to heed the clear directive from the president that these acts are acts of criminal vandalism of state property, and ensure that the perpetrators of these dastardly acts face the full force of the law. Unfortunately, instead of confronting these bandits and terrorists, the security has folded up in Boko. They have all folded up, and the media is silent. All the police forces have folded up and they have gone back to the divisional police command. Instead of confronting armed bandits and terrorists, they have emboldened over the year, they have folded up. And then Ghanaians shouldn't be silent to this, because that is how terrorism creeps. It starts at an area where you think that it does not involve you, it does not touch you.